What's going on, everybody? It's the Jack here with another Waveiture 101 video for you guys. Yeah, that's right, Professor Waveiture is back at it again with another Waveiture 101 video for you guys on this wonderful Wavy Wednesday. As you guys see with the title, with the thumbnail, and if you guys watched last week's video, you guys already know what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about waving for athletes, not just, people who play sports, but people who, go to the gym often, or people who are just very active, who tend to, sweat a lot. This video is going to be how to maintain your waves as an athlete or just an active person in general. Alright guys, step one when it comes to maintaining your waves as an athlete or as an active individual is going to be just making sure that you're putting in the brushwork and just putting in that brushwork before you even go, say, like to basketball practice or football practice, or before you go to the gym, or before you do whatever. Make sure that you guys are putting in that brushwork, because the more you do before you get sweaty and your hair starts frizzing up, the more you do to maintain it at those levels, the less you're gonna have to do once it gets frizzy. You guys feel me? Like, if you're putting that brush to work, yeah, you might get sweaty, yeah, your hair might frizz up a little bit, but all in all, you're not gonna lose any progress. You're not gonna sweat your waves out per se. You feel me? Unless you're sweating profusely, unless like if you go like swimming or something to that effect, you might, your waves might, get into full out fro mode if you don't, even if you brush. Which brings up my second point, or my second tip. If you guys have the ability to, I'm not sure if you guys as coaches would allow it or if you guys would feel comfortable, but make sure you guys wear that DURAG. The longer you wear your DURAG, when you're sweating, if you wear your DURAG while you're sweating, your hair would not, budge a bit. You won't lose out on any progress. Your hair won't frizz up at all. Your hair is going to stay nice and neat and tidy because of the fact that you're holding everything down. And if your hair starts to try to frizz up, your DURAG is gonna put it in a headlock and be like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. You feel me? When your hair is like super sweaty and super frizzy, it's very difficult to just brush it back in place with it still being in that state. So you guys are definitely gonna want to make sure you rag up and keep your hair ragged up until your hair is completely dry. Then take your DURAG off. Your hair will be a little bit easier to kind of like manipulate in this state because it's gonna be back to normal. You could brush it back down in place and call it. You guys are the type of athlete or active person who, can't really wear their DURAG that often, or your hair is just not going back to normal after you brush it, after waiting for your hair to dry, and it's just, even if you put that brushwork in before you start sweating or doing whatever activity that causes you to sweat, and you still can't get your hair to lay back down, or your waves are still not looking good, this is what you guys are gonna want to do. You guys are gonna want to do a wash and style session. If you guys aren't familiar with the wash and style session, look at the videos that I put in the description box below. I have the links to all my videos for the most part that I've been doing. You guys could definitely go watch one of my wash and style videos, and that would definitely help you out with how to do that. Now, if you're gonna be doing a wash and style method often, I highly recommend you guys use a co-wash. Now, Jackson, what's a co-wash, man? You never really talked about that. A co-wash is basically a conditioning wash. It's a way to wash and cleanse your hair without stripping your hair of its natural oils, and without stripping your hair of its moisture. It's a way to basically wash your hair while maintaining its level of moisture. It's a way to wash your hair and not risk drying your hair out or anything of the such. There's a bunch of co-washes out there. A bunch of brands have them. The co-wash that I have used in my lifetime, I've used the Eden Body Works. They have a pretty good co-wash. It's natural as well. I only use natural products. If the product isn't natural, I'm not putting it on my skin, I'm not putting it in my hair. You feel me? That's just how I am, and I hope you guys are the same way. But yeah, guys, you're definitely just gonna want to make sure you're doing a wash and style with a co-wash. Wash and styles always help bounce your hair back, regardless of how frizzy it is or how poofy it is, or I just feel like when you get a good wash in, you're gonna be washing the your sweat out. And if you're sweating that often and you're sweating to the point where your hair can't be naturally brushed or just ragged up to bring it back to normal, you're gonna want to wash more anyway. So you feel me? So this is gonna help you kill two birds with one stone. You're one, gonna wash all the sweat, dirt, grime, and whatever is in your hair out, and two, you're gonna be helping bounce your hair back. Those are that's a very important tip. I might have should have said that first, because that helps on both ends with the washing of your hair and the maintaining of your waves, because it's gonna help bounce your waves back. Another tip I have for you guys when it comes to maintaining your waves, if you're an athlete or if you're just an active person or just a person who sweats a lot, is to not woof for extended periods of time. Because when you woof super heavily and you're woofing, past your normal woofing duration, if you will, your hair is gonna already be tough to keep laid and already tough to maintain. So with that being said, if you're sweaty and your hair and you're risking sweating your waves out and your hair is already hard to maintain naturally, when you add that sweat and you add the activeness and you add the fact that you can sweat your hair out, it's gonna be even harder to get your waves to bounce back. That's one thing I learned with not my last woof session, but the session before last. I tried to push my woof a little bit, and I was hooping after work and things like that, and I just realized it just was too much to keep laid. It was too much to maintain. So I realized that if you are going to be an athlete, if you are a person who sweats often, if you are that person who just stays active and struggles with keeping your hair maintained just off the strength of that, don't add fuel to the fire and continue to make it rougher on you by woofing extremely long. Keep those woofs very moderate. Don't try to woof for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. You feel me? Especially if your hair isn't trained, which brings up my next point. Ways to make sure to keep your hair laid regardless of if you're sweating or if you're active or not, is just by the continuous aspect of training your hair. So you guys want to, and that kind of bounces back to tip 1, just putting in that brush work. The more you brush and the more you tend to your hair, the more trained your hair is going to become. The more trained your hair is, the easier your hair is going to be able to stay laid by itself. You feel me? Like, there's, at the length I'm at now, I'm probably like a 3 maybe. I don't have to keep my rag on while I sweat. I could just, just to keep my DURAG off, and my waves will look, fairly decent. I might just need to, have a quick brush session after my hair dries, but otherwise than that, my hair is really trained. The more trained your hair is, the easier it is to stay laid regardless of the circumstance. Okay, I think I've hit every tip that I've been thinking of this last week. This video was, something that was pre-thought of, and I've been thinking of, different methods and tricks that I've used to keep my waves laid down when I'm, active or in and out the gym or hooping and stuff like that. Things that I've done before, during, and after those activities. And I basically told you guys all of them today. I would, as I always say, I think I said this in my last video too, I will always make part 2s when it comes to these videos if I think of anything else or if anything else is brought to my attention. So with that being said, if you guys need another rundown of these tips, just rewind the video, watch it back, and take those notes if needed. If you guys soaked up all the knowledge and feel like that you guys are all set to go, comment a wave emoji in the comment section below. Also comment things that you do to keep your hair laid if you're an athlete or if you're just a person who is fairly active. Also, the last 2 videos that I've done have been requested. So if you guys need any help with anything specific or you just want me to record any videos on anything, it could be from waves to the sports world to music to hobbies to whatever it needs to be. If you guys want me to put out a video, just comment that and I'll make sure I put it out. If it's not wave related, I might not drop it on a Wednesday per se. If it's not like hair related at all, I might not drop it on a Wednesday. I might drop it on a random day throughout the week, because my Wednesdays are geared towards these Waveiture one-on-one hair tutorials. However, I would release the video. And the best way to make sure you don't miss that video if it's not dropped on a Wednesday is to make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and hitting those and part of the notification clan as well. You know, if you hit that notifications bell, all my videos will be pushed to you. You don't gotta go looking for them. You don't gotta search them up. You don't gotta go on YouTube and look up Waveiture one-on-one or anything to that nature, because they're gonna come to your phone. You feel me? It only makes sense. Make sure you guys are hitting the notification bell as well. Matter of fact, if you are notification, if you have hit the notifications bell, make sure you comment that below so I can personally thank you guys. Yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Alright guys, just to let you know, my next video is going to be on the no knot method, made by Kadeem WizKid Jones. I'll definitely be doing that video for next week, and the week after that is gonna be a really cool video. You know, I don't want to tell you, I'm gonna keep that a surprise for you guys. Alright, so yeah, so with all that being said, keep that breast in motion if you want the ocean. You know, keep that Waveiture going and pick a goal and go get it. And make sure that you guys purchase your Waveiture essentials. Reach out to me for that. Alright, I'm out.